You are not here to be played with, and you are not here to be the butt of someone's joke, especially your own. Hello, my girlies. Welcome to Merrily. I'm Merrily. I'm a certified menstrual coach. And when it comes to your cycle, I'm here to help you get it together. Can you believe that we're already 2 weeks in to 2026? Like, what the heck? Like, where is time going? Oh my gosh. And because it seems like as we get older, time just gets faster and faster, my word for the year is intention. I just feel like time is such a precious resource, like this precious gift. And in order to really make the most of it, I really just want to create the habit of being intentional in every single area of my life. And I would really like to encourage you all to also be more intentional when it comes to learning your bodies and your menstrual cycle. This past Sunday at church, my pastor said, often we get mad or frustrated about things that we don't do anything about. And I was like, ooh, pastor, preach, conviction. Because when it comes to your cycle or your body, this could look like getting mad at your period cramps, but not understanding where they come from. Feeling frustrated about your energy tanking midday, but you insisted on having coffee before you put anything else in your system. We'll touch more on that later. Or even you just being irritated with how you look, but you skipped the gym this morning because you stayed up late scrolling or watching Netflix, and now you're getting takeout for lunch. Now, mind you, I did skip the gym this morning. However, I went on 2 walks, count them 2, right? And I went to the gym with my husband in the evening after work, so hey, we in there. I'm not talking about myself. So with all that being said, let's try to start the year off intentionally by dropping habits that no longer serve us. There's probably a lot of these habits, but I made a list, top 5, that we're going to start with. And I feel like these habits are the top 5 because they don't seem that bad. But then when you really look at it, you're like, oh, you soon discover this causes chaos. And I definitely feel like we don't want any of that in our 2026 and our newfound era that we're stepping into, right? So let's begin. The first chaos-causing habit that we are officially dropping in 2026 is caffeine on an empty stomach. I absolutely hate it when people hear the suggestion to not have caffeine on an empty stomach and they're immediately like, oh, but I can't do anything without my morning coffee. Oh, I'm just not myself if I haven't had my daily dose of caffeine. Like, I just can't function. Babe, if you want to remain a victim to your choices, just say that. But please do not expect me to sit around and feel sorry for you when you yap about how tired you are. I literally can't. When you slam caffeine in your system first thing in the morning, no grounding, no food, no nervous system warm up, essentially you are literally telling your body, meow, 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 activate survival mode, red alert, SOS, SOS. Like, girl, that's too many alarms going off. First thing, like, can we get a break? Let me paint a picture for you of what the foundation looks like that cortisol spike sets for you. The first stone in your foundation, anxiety. The second stone in your foundation, irregulated blood sugar. The third stone in your foundation, that mid-morning or midday crash out. And then you look at your situation for the day. You look at the foundation you've laid, the groundwork you have laid for your day, and you're wondering why you're tired but wired. This is literally how one small choice can derail an entire day before it even actually starts. And let me get something straight. We're not demonizing caffeine, okay? I am a matcha girly through and through. We're just learning to respect timing because there's a time and a place for everything. And it just so happens that, first thing in the morning before you've even had so much as a cornflake is not the proper time to have your morning mocha. And if you're someone that works out in the morning and you take pre-workout, I get it. I take pre-workout occasionally. However, I still don't indulge on an empty stomach. It is just not for me, okay? If you're gonna do that, try to have a little pre-workout snack. Me, I usually have like a rice cake with a little natural peanut butter and some hot water, or some sauerkraut and some hot water. Hot water is always there. Beautiful, beautiful thing to wake up your digestive system. And then also like if you're having like a cold pre-workout snack, then it can cause like mucus, I've learned. And the hot water is just, it's tea, lol. It's leafless tea. That's hilarious. Sorry for the dad joke or the mom joke, whatever. But also there's this running trend that's going on TikTok where it's like, I'm recently Chinese, so I've been having hot water and lemon for breakfast. And I think this trend is so amazing. It's so funny. Honestly, I had already started kind of doing these things when I started learning about the menstrual cycle, and a lot of like wisdom and stuff was coming from traditional Chinese medicine. And I stand by it. Okay. I stand by it. I'm a holistic health girly. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I love preventative healthcare versus reactionary. That's a whole other rant, but I love this trend. It's very cute. It's very fun. And it's really good for you. It's actually really good for you. So y'all keep that up. Keep doing that. I'm serious. The second habit that we are going to be dropping in 2026 is overexerting our follicular energy. Now, I know that follicular energy feels amazing. I know that it feels like you're a champion and you can just take on the world. Okay? I get it. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. You're creative, you're motivated, you're optimistic, and yeah, you think you can do all of the things. But you are not Nemo touching the boat. Just because you can does not mean that you should. Like girly pop, if you go around overexerting your energy and follicular, you're going to end up borrowing from your other phases. And so you're going to sabotage your luteal and then your menstrual rest. On top of burning out before ovulation even gets here. And what good is that going to do? None, not at all. Hear me when I say that rest is productive. Sustainability is way better than sporadic bursts of overachievement. And I can back it up with the word. Ecclesiastes 4, verse 6 says, "Better one handful with tranquility than 2 handfuls with toil and chasing after the wind." Now, this is the NIV version, I believe this Bible is. I actually just ordered a new Bible. It's coming in tonight. I'm really excited. But another translation of that is basically 1 handful of rest is better than 2 handfuls of labor and striving after the wind. So, if the Bible say you need to rest, then guess what, baby? You need to rest. You need to sit down. I know that work often feels easiest here and your energy is climbing and you're feeling unstoppable. That's great. But you really should stop every now and then and build in those breaks. Okay, number 3, the third habit we're dropping in 2026. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a juicy one. Negative self-talk. All within this one habit, there are several different things that I am forcing you to officially retire. So this is a bit of a 3-parter, okay? Because I need to be really specific here. In the category of negative self-talk, we have number 1, self-deprecating humor. I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. Putting yourself down in front of others and even behind closed doors lets other people know what you think about yourself and that it's okay to think the same way about you. Self-deprecating humor basically says, I don't respect myself, so it's okay for you not to respect me either. I don't believe in myself, so it's okay for you to not believe in me either. I don't think that I'm worthy, so it's okay for you to not think that I'm worthy either. I never participate when someone is engaging in self-deprecating humor in front of me. To me, there is absolutely nothing funny about someone putting themselves down. And let me tell you, if you are single and you are hoping to be in a relationship with someone, that is the most unattractive thing. One of the most, asterisk. That is one of the most unattractive things that you can do. You're literally self-sabotaging right then and there. You are setting yourself up to be repulsive to this person that you're probably interested in. Oh my gosh, I just realized I've been recording this whole time without my mic. That's crazy. Oh well, we'll keep going. If you're trying to attract a high quality man, but you're not acting like a high quality woman, like I don't know what to tell you. Even worse, you're going to pull the kind of men who are manipulators, okay? Because they're going to sense the lack of comfort, the lack of confidence, and the lack of trust within yourself and weaponize that against you to the point where you have to lean on them, you have to depend on them. Because you can't trust your instincts. You can't trust yourself. So their word is law. My girl, if this does not sound like the woman of your dreams, do not get caught in that. You are not here to be played with. And you are not here to be the butt of someone's joke, especially your own. Number 2 in the category of negative self-talk, comments against your cycle. This is actually what got me into menstrual coaching. For those who don't know, before I was a menstrual coach, I was a certified life coach, and I was looking at mindset and confidence and the way that we show up. And I was looking at how the way that I talk about and to myself. And I realized that I generally spoke pretty highly of myself, except for when it came to my period. And I was like, ooh, red flag. Okay, what's going on here? Like, I would be saying things like, I hate that my body is doing this. Like, I hate Eve. I hate that I'm a woman. Like, this sucks. Like, I'm miserable. Like, just things that are bad mouthing my period. But I was disassociating because I was like, well, I'm not really, at the time when I was doing it, I didn't feel like I was talking bad about myself, but I came to realize that, yeah, my period is a part of me. So I'm talking badly about myself anyway. So I was like, okay, well, how do we remedy that? Like, let's take a look. Why am I saying all these horrible things? Because it hurts. Okay, well, why does it hurt? Let's figure that out. And then, the rest is kind of history from there. But ultimately, I knew that I would never be able to heal my relationship with my cycle if I did not first address it as still me and then kill the negative talk about it, because I had already decided that I was no longer talking ill of myself. That was already done. I already decided there was going to be no more self-deprecating humor. That was already done. So then when I went down the line and I saw that, hey, I'm still talking badly about myself here, I was like, oh, I didn't really think about it like this, but your menstrual cycle is a part of you. So it is you by association. And if you are talking BS about it, you're talking BS about yourself. And that is not something we're doing this year. No longer. If you got a problem with it, like Pastor said, try to do something about it. Don't just whine and yap. What's going on? Because best believe I did something about it. I literally felt like I was being sawed in half every month. That sucked. And for so long, I would yap and whine and complain and didn't do anything about it. Until finally one day I said, enough. We're not talking about ourselves like this any longer. Let's do something. Don't just talk about it, be about it. Let's go. The final installment in the category of negative self-talk. Redirecting compliments and shooing off praise. Oh, I swear, some people act like they're allergic to kindness. It's actually crazy. Just say thank you, period. Just say thank you and move on. Even if you genuinely do like the other person's shoes too, you immediately throwing a compliment back at them seems transactional and kind of avoidant. Okay? This person probably isn't giving you a compliment so that they can fish for one of their own. And if they are, well, that's bad. And we should also talk about that in another video. But for the most part, they're just genuinely trying to inform you on this thing. Just receive it. Just say thank you, receive, and let it fall off. So many people like tense up. Like this actually creates tension in the body. All of these things that I was talking about before create tension in the body because it's resistance. But like, it's so crazy to physically watch people tense up at niceties. Like your body is physically trying to resist the kindness. How silly does that sound? Honestly, I feel like that's a clear sign of whether or not your feminine energy is healthy or not. Like based on whether someone gives you a compliment and you like tense up and you're like, oh, no, thank you. I love your shoes, whatever. Or if you remain calm and someone compliments you and you just sit back. Wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And you carry on about your day. Like that kind of, if you're listening to this, you may not be able to see the movements that I'm doing, but are you like going in when someone compliments you? Like, like you're retreating, you're scared, resist. Or are you like relaxing, opening up? Like, wow, thank you. Like you might be leaning back, but your chest kind of comes more forward because you're receiving, you're letting it sit in, like you're letting it soak in. What's the difference? A relaxed body or a tense body? You choose. I will tell you though, a relaxed body is much more optimal for your menstrual health because you'll be sleeping better, your nervous system will probably be a bit more regulated, and your cramps probably won't hurt as much. Just a thought. You'll probably digest your food better too, but you know, I'm just saying, like, words are not neutral. Actually, Proverbs 18:21. The tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. You already know what that means. Before you say something, stop and ask yourself, is this creating life or death? Am I about to eat the fruit of life or eat the fruit of death? Have I, and if you're talking to someone, have I given someone the fruit of life or have I given them the fruit of death? All right, so the fourth habit that we are officially dropping in 2026 is guessing where you are in your cycle. We are so done with vibes-based biology. Baby girl, I need you to know. I need you to know. If you are trying to make real, meaningful changes, like in your goal, in your habits, your relationships, your productivity, your workouts, you need to know where you are in your cycle. I don't know how much more I can like drive this into people. But one thing that I really love about Jesus and his teachings is that he would teach in parables and he would give a little story and people would kind of like be able to understand things a bit more that way. So I thought it would be fun to come up with a little parable to kind of demonstrate the impact of knowing your cycle phases. And so I'm going to read it to you. It's really short, so I'm going to read it to you. I haven't really gotten a title for it yet. I don't know, maybe like the parable of the gardener or the girl in her garden. Okay, actually, that eats. I love it. My husband just casually having a fit. I think he's okay now. The girl and her garden. Oh, I love it. Okay. I have it written here. There was a young girl who, when she came of age, was given a piece of land. No one explained it to her. They just said, "This is yours now. Take care of it." So she tried. Some months the soil was soft. Other months the land bloomed wildly. Then there were months when the ground felt heavy, quiet, unwilling. But she didn't know the seasons. She planted when the soil wasn't ready. She demanded fruit before its time. When the land grew quiet, she called it lazy. And when it didn't produce on command, she called it broken. As she grew older, her frustration grew too. "I'm doing everything I'm supposed to," she said. "Why won't this land work for me?" One day, an older woman stopped by, her hands worn, her eyes kind, her harvest full. She saw the devastation of the land and looked at the gardener. She asked gently, "Who taught you the seasons of your land?" "No one," the woman replied. "I was just told to manage it. So it's not my fault." She looked at the land, sad. The gardener smiled. She helped her stop and listen. She showed her when to plant, when to tend, when to harvest, and when to let the soil rest. The older woman smiled. "It was never your fault for not knowing. But now that you do, it is your responsibility what happens after." And so, with her new knowledge, the gardener went to work over the course of the seasons. And for the first time, the land flourished. Not because it changed, but the gardener's relationship to it did. Isn't it cute? I think it's so cute, but I think this is just such a beautiful way to depict why this is important, why I think it's important. So I'm not even going to draw it out. I'm just going to drop the mic there, you know? Actually, let me pick it back up. Question for you. Are you going to learn your seasons? Or are you just going to shake your fist aimlessly in the air? Either way, you have a choice to make. And the choice is yours to make. And you are responsible for the consequences of your choice. Now I drop the mic. But then we pick it back up because we're at number 5, the 5th habit that we are dropping in 2026. This is our last one. And I feel like all of these have been like kind of brutal, but like I'm in a very much like girly pop, it's time to wake up kind of mood. The 5th habit that you're dropping is negotiating with weakness. Let me explain what that means. This is where discipline meets identity. We love self-compassion, but we are no longer negotiating with avoidance. If there's something that you need to do, you can be tired, you cannot feel like it, you can wish the circumstances were better, but there's no excuse to never do it. Something else my pastor said last Sunday was, if no time is a good time, then pick a time. And he said that and I was like, yes, correct. Because you're right. There's never going to be the perfect time. The circumstances are never going to align the way that you want them to for you to have the most optimal environment for you to do whatever you're trying to do. Okay? No time is going to be a good time. So just pick a time because consistency is not really built on your strongest days. It's built on your weakest ones. You know that saying, a chain is only as strong as its weakest link? The exact same thing applies to your discipline. What matters isn't perfection. It's more so about how quickly you bounce back. And that is something that took me so long to figure out as a recovering perfectionist myself. Like that was something huge that I needed to really instill in myself to get anything done because I felt like I was such a perfectionist that I would end up procrastinating because I knew I wouldn't be able to do the thing perfect. So I'd be like, why would I do it at all? I know, crazy mentality, but I know that there are so many out there that are like me. So that's why we have to have this chat. Something that I would always tell myself in college is done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. done is better than perfect. And I will still even say that to myself now. Like, if I feel resistance on doing something, just get it done, because done is better than perfect. And at least like me doing the action of doing the thing, like that can mold my identity into becoming the person that I would like to become. That is where your identity actually starts to shift. You go from I'm someone who is trying to work out to I work out. I'm trying to start running to I'm a runner. This is something that James Clear talks about in his book, Atomic Habits, which if you haven't read that book, you definitely should. It's fantastic. But a quote that he has that I really, really love and I think is so profound. Every action you take is a vote for the person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. That is, it's just so good. Basically, he's saying that no single moment is going to define you, but the pattern always will. So if you want to be someone who has regulated hormones, your actions need to look like those of someone who has regulated hormones. And if you're ever like questioning if it will or not, something that I've kind of used is a filter. And I think James Clear actually talked about this too. He was recently on Diary of a CEO podcast. Love that podcast. So good. But he talks about using your desired identity as a filter. So in the context of someone with regulated hormones, right? If you're debating on whether or not you should eat this piece of cake, put that through your filter. Would someone with regulated hormones eat this piece of cake with no other food in sight? Basically on an empty stomach. Like you could have eaten like 5 hours ago or whatever, but you did not have a meal before this cake. Would someone who has regulated hormones do that? Does not clear the filter. No. However, would someone with regulated hormones eat this cake as a dessert to a well-balanced meal that they had that had fiber, healthy fats, and protein? Totally. They of course would. This is great. Eat the cake, you know? And even if you're like, oh, but Tamara, I'm not really sure like what someone would do in that instance. Girl, ask the Holy Spirit. And if you ain't really talking to the Holy Spirit, questionable, but like talk to ChatGPT. Like you can ask, you have knowledge and information at your fingertips in this day and age. And if you're just trying to figure out, like it should not be that hard to figure out whether or not the action you're about to take aligns with the person that you are trying to become. It's not rocket science, so don't make it out to be. Honestly, you just need to build the person that you are trying to become brick by boring brick until all of your bricks make something extraordinary. Those bars, y'all like that kind of eat. Ooh, she's a writer. Okay, I think that just about wraps us up. To close this out, I just want to leave you with that I'm really not trying to do too much. I'm not trying to do more in 2026. I am focused on doing what aligns, when it aligns, even when it's uncomfortable, you know? Less chaos, more clarity. I want that for all of us. So let me know in the comments what other kind of chaos causing habits you are dropping this year. Let me know which ones really stood out to you that we talked about here today. And also, what's your favorite show that you're watching right now? Because I just finished The Penthouse. It's a K-drama. That was an experience. I think I binged that whole show in like, I don't know, like 3 weeks. It was crazy. But yeah. Be blessed, live merrily, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.